this might be the first time, as long as I can remember, certainly since 1998, when I started really, being a part of the organization and following these guys, that the defense is more fun to watch than the offense for the first time ever. These guys they play hard. This linebacker crew, for all the mistakes they make in this game, God bless America, they play hard. I love it. All right, let's watch Preston Smith. First of all, just pummel Trevor Lawrence. Got the backup tackle on Cam Robinson's hurt. 72. Don't turn early, bud. This is what you call a lookout block. All right? It's like, oh, man. Look out. Look out. Oh. Go away. Fantastic. We're bringing both guys up. Listen, I don't have the end zone copy of this because I'm an idiot, but Rashawn Gary opens this guy up at level and rushes inside. So just watch Rashawn Gary. Upfield hard. Okay, inside stab. Lifts him up. Look where he is. This is exactly what he could have been doing the entire year. Keep doing exactly this. Use the speed and then take that. You so strong through the hips, man. Forklift, open that guy up, compress the pocket, get the pressure. I know you don't get a sack right here, but, I mean, that's great football. Great football. Team defense, what am I saying? First of all, Eric Wilson and Isaiah McDuffie played fantastic football. I mean, it's not perfect, but they're playing fantastic football. The way they fill, the violence. Who the hell is Eric Wilson? Oh, I don't know. He's a really, really good player for the Green Bay Packers right now. I mean, I didn't know. You remember him last year a little bit, but, you're not thinking he's going to be part of the future. And he just is. He's playing really, really well. So, backside, I think this is Carl Brooks. Carl Brooks is so tight that the Jaguars make a call to basically go man, and they're going to pull their tack around and try to find Isaiah McDuffie. This is asinine, okay? Because of the team speed and the defensive speed at the linebacker level. Look at the way they sniffed this out and just gone. That tackle's trying to make that play. Are you kidding me? Plus, Preston Smith does a good job of jamming up 72 again all day. Just ugly. Okay, listen. I love the crossover. We saw this from Myles Garrett last year. You love the crossover, but don't cross over your own teammate here. Because it's got to look good right now. Now it's got to look good. Oops. It's like, if you're going to do that, man, it's got to look good. Good win by Carl Brooks, though. Way to capitalize. Why am I saying that? On the bottom here, we have an inside release. I'm sure that receiver is supposed to outside release. And because he does an outside release, we got McKinney staying tight. He sees two. He doesn't have to worry about that backside guy. Steps right in front. He looks like he's reading the play there. Fantastic job. I mean, he's so good. We saw a lot of snaps from Edgerrin Cooper. He had, I think, numerically had the best day of anyone. He had a sack. He had a forced fumble, which is obviously that stuff happens for a number of reasons, but you still got to make the play. I think he had 9 tackles. He had a tackle for loss. Really, really good football day. Still a work in progress. What you can't get over is he jumps off the screen of he makes a mistake here. Look how quick he is. He makes such a mistake here that the center doesn't even know who to block. I mean, watch this. He's gone. And the center is literally going, okay, well, I guess who should I get next? Because he's on the wrong side of the football. But talk about a talent to work with. Jeez, Pete. What did I do? All right, boys. One more. This is what happens when you're a guy with all thumbs figuring out the technology over here. Anyway, super fast play speed. Center has no idea what to do. We got a trips look, really tight ends attached or hipped off. Really got quad to that side. They show. And now this time, same kind of look. We got an outside release on the backside receiver here. They got the tight end coming out to take the flat, the flat defender. And now Xavier McKinney's running to the middle, has his eyes on that crosser, but it really isn't, with Trevor Lawrence has arm for days. Like, realistically, not going to be able to turn around and make this play in time. And actually, to be fair, The receiver cuts that even flatter. Probably an easier throw and catch. A lot of chunk play. I think there were 10 chunk plays in this game. I think I have that somewhere. There was 10 chunk plays in this game. Let me see if I can get my notes real quick before we do this. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. So 21 to 32, 308 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick. 4 yards per carry, less than 102 yards rushing. What I want to, the biggest thing is, as we watched this game, they only had 1 sack, and it was the Cooper sack. Struggling in 1v1 pass rush. Now, I'll say this, and I just showed one. I just showed 2. We did win early a couple times. Sometimes you win too early, and the quarterback knows to get rid of the ball. I think Trevor Lawrence does a good job of getting rid of it. But, we had that one day where we had like 7 or 8 sacks, and you just don't see it. You just don't see the accumulation. You have to say, though, that you can't be mad at the amount of times we got in the backfield. It's just, can we win a little cleaner? Sometimes you're too strong. So Devontae Wyatt beats up the guard and the tackle so bad he throws the guard on the ground and actually throws himself out of his own gap. So Eric Wilson shoots his gap. Is that Wooden or Wyatt? Either way, he just dump trucks the right guard, but he owns up gap back side. They go for a good run. McKinney somehow hangs onto the tackle to hold him there. I think Trevor Lawrence scores a couple plays later. Love this. This is Green Bay Packer football right here. If you're in the locker room, this is a play that I'm showing over and over. First of all, Kenny Clark does a great job of freeing up Rashawn Gary by running the TE set. Rashawn comes in and absolutely levels Trevor Lawrence. But then on the back end of this, so if you're watching this and they got the boomsticks out at the sideline, you hear the thud of the pads when he hits the quarterback. Then Nixon gets the flat defender right here and absolutely just good old violence, man. Set the tone, boys. You got to set the tone. Oh, just dumps him. Love it. Got our wires crossed here a little bit. So they decide to bring the slot and the safety in the corner. Now, I don't know what the corner's doing right here. The corner right now should be high. And he's not. So he puts all the onus on the free safety. And, these are those plays that happen in football. You throw this ball up. You think, okay, this isn't. I mean, it's kind of triple coverage. But, there's a 4th guy in the shot. And you go, holy hell, this shouldn't be a play. But, really, really good throw. On the back end on the front end of this, the corner's just got to read this a little bit faster and not be flat-footed. Get back into space, especially in 2-minute, man. I think they set up for a field goal there, so we got under center. It's a really good play design here. So by dropping down and looking like he's going to block Xavier McKinney, the receiver right here, as soon as Jair sees this, man, he just drops, takes off. And now in the flat, so McKinney gets out of there as well, but now you're in the flat. It's like there's nobody there. And so you might have a flat defender. Listen, there's rules and this and that. Who should be there, whatever. Like sometimes it's a good play design, man. They make a good play, test you a little bit, test your eyes. I'm guessing both those guys have places they needed to be a little bit faster, but couldn't tell you for sure. Got to take the good with the bad. So what am I talking about? So Cooper's going the wrong direction. So honestly, I have no idea what his read is. There's no ghost rusher. There's like a ghost motion. There's nothing. He just, for whatever reason, he's just going the wrong way. This will be another player like 76 is like, where is he? Where should I be blocking? And then we got, Williams gets hurt. He pulls his hamstring. So we got Javon Bullard back playing safety today. And he missed a couple tackles, there's a couple series of plays here where you go, man, were you studying the playbook well enough last night? Some of it's not his fault. But, we haven't seen this. We haven't seen this guy really miss this alley tackle here. Really, that's a big one for me. Get another 10, 12 yards. This is a tough one. So we got a deep safety, but really you're getting a 12-yard head start. They're going to run 2 goes on the outside, and then they're just going to break this out into the 15-yard out. And, I mean, he's wide-ass open, but I have to be honest. This is a really, really – I don't understand how you play defense against this. If you're one-on-one, 12 yards off, and the guy has a two-way go with the entire field because he could have run the entire field on the other side as well. He showed that, came back out, kind of like the Sale 7 we showed Romeo Dobbs. But that's just a really, really, for me, that's a really, really tough route. You don't want to put guys in that position. I just don't think it's a position that we're going to have a lot of success in. There's a reason people are trying to run that, right? Now, this one, on the other hand, you got to move for your guy here if you're the linebacker. So we're just standing. Get some depth, man. Get some depth because, listen, you're beat on the backside. He goes for the fake. There's no question about it. But if you get a little bit more depth, the ball's got to go in higher. I mean, the lane couldn't be more obvious for the quarterback here. This is too easy. And so I'm not, Javon Bullard's listen, sometimes you get beat. He got beat. But also at the linebacker level, Cooper, get yourself a little bit depth. Don't just stand flat-footed and watch. Move back into the end zone. That's clearly where they're throwing the football. I'm not saying it would have made a difference. I'm just saying, hey, we're all about making the good habits. Big time play here. And this is just Trevor Lawrence getting greedy. I mean, throw the ball. It's just the third down play, so he's probably not going to get to the sticks. But Devontae Wyatt ends up making this play. Cooper makes some plays in the game where you go, and this is the thing about football or any sport. If you get the sack fumble, I think this is the next play right here. He just plays Tampa 2 and runs down the slot receiver after he actually shows he's going to go. And you make plays like this, and it's like, oh, no matter what, he's playing now. And the speed and the aggression. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Like he's ready to play. And you take the good with the bad or the bad with good, however you want to say it. You just play the guy because he's too talented not to play. I don't know what happened to the guy's shoulder. It looks like it's separated, but he got his hand in there or just getting back there to make contact and forcing that, and because landing on the shoulder and all that extra impact, whether he hit the ball out or not, you can't sign me up to do it. I know that much. Talent. Well, fast, huh? Yep. I just glazed right through this. This is glossed right through this. This is just one of those plays. Just got to make the tackle there. This is kind of crunch time for the game. McDuffie ends up, Wilson McDuffie have to end up making some space for their guy. I think the really good thing is, though, you can play three linebackers with Cooper in there and just feel like you can play out in the slot. Now, I know he misses that, but he's not going to miss a lot of them. This is such a vet move. Okay, so this vet, he did this last week. They ran in a 5-man box. I showed it on our tape. And the linebacker walks up, and all he does is he takes both hands and he bats the hands down. So McDuffie's going to try to punch and escape from this guy. And all he does, he waits. He bats both arms down. McDuffie yard sales. It's a good play by that vet, man. It's crafty center, man. That's Mike Flanagan move right there. Listen, you have to do it. Fair enough. I'd rather just go all in, go zero. But these game zone drops are the worst. Look at this. Okay, Preston Smith is dropping into coverage. Running back runs a little Texas girl out, gets an extra 10 yards because what the hell is Preston Smith going to do? Oh, I'm sorry. It's like you go to the film room and you know what he's doing? He's sitting in the back going, told you. Like, I can't cover him, You asked me to go cover a wide receiver. Tyreek Hill comes over and says, hey, cover Tyreek. Okay, I might as well just go sit in a lawn chair and smoke a cigar. The game's over. Not a great way to finish this ball game. I think you're asking a lot. So the kid's an unbelievable athlete, talking about Cooper here. But it's like, if you're not going to bend this into the middle of the field, you're going to stay up the hash. Like, you're not going to get there. I mean, a good throwing ball with a good quarterback, you just put him in a position to be unsuccessful. I think that's you're just asking a lot. That's really, really tough. I mean, the Bears used to do this all the time, walking up the A gaps, and I love it. Like, I love the aggression, and maybe they are good enough athletes to do it. But in a situation like this, and the team has a momentum. This team hasn't believed in anything for a long time, and they think they can beat the Green Bay Packers right now. They're driving to tie this ball game up. And then here we get our wires crossed again. Evan Ingram ends up out jumping everybody, but really, so you get beat off the line of scrimmage. We're not on the same page. Who's guarding? Who's on first right here? And Nixon, Evan Ingram is a really good tall receiver. He's not a tight end. He puts a move on him early on. but you're throwing in triple coverage. You want to be able to finish the game. I think defensively a little better than they did. I'm sure that's what they talked about when they had their meetings like yesterday. But look, I think that puts you at 6-2 now. You're going against the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears, two huge games. These are going to be a lot of fun to watch. Both of those teams have some belief, certainly. The Lions might be the class of the NFC, and this is going to be a fun week. Listen, we'll do a preview show. I think for me, if you go, it'll be interesting if Jordan. I don't know what the Jordan Love situation is. If he's got the groin or the MC, whatever it is, if he's out, it really, in a weird way, this team has really rallied around Malik Willis, and you just feel really good about Josh Jacobs. Aiden Hutchinson's not part of the equation over there right now. Certainly, they have some really, really good players. I love their linebacking group. I think everybody's healthy. I know that Rodriguez had to come out of the game last week, but I think all their linebackers are healthy aside. Akeem is healthy. So they've got talent on the defensive side, but they're giving up points as well. It's just a question of, this Halfley versus Ben Johnson, a friend of mine who's just turning out to be an absolute damn genius, computer science major, by the way. A lot of funny stories about Ben. Ben Johnson's one of the best humans I've ever been around. You can't help but love the guy and be really happy for him. But he's a tough opponent right now, especially with the talent they have. They have so much talent, but the way that they use their splits and everything, we'll do a breakdown of them or later in the week. The way that team uses their splits, uses their motions, uses their just little cookie crumbs all over the field is a perfect match for the talent that they have at different positions. So be a fun game to watch, I think, from the defensive standpoint of the Green Bay Packers. How are they going to attack that? How are they going to get in Goff's face, get him off the spot, get him off time, because he's certainly not as good when he can't plant his feet. Going to be a fun week. We'll talk about it later, guys. You can always hit me up, MikeWall68 on Twitter, Process to Perform on Instagram. Thank you again to our sponsor, Bet Online.